I'm Father Tom Kunz. I grew up in Point Breeze in the east end of Pittsburgh, and St. Bede is my home parish. And I'd never been involved with parish life really that much. I went to Catholic high school, went to Central, and went to Loyola College in Baltimore. And after that time in Loyola, I was kind of thinking, what should I do with my life? And what's the most important thing I can do with my life? And after I started thinking about that, I started thinking, well, I could be a priest. And it just kind of came into my mind, it came to my heart. Right after I graduated from college, I had a thought that maybe I should become a priest. And it started when I was in college. And I wasn't sure. So I thought, well, I'm living here. I was in Baltimore at the time. And I thought, I'm living here, I might as well go in and get a place with my college roommates. And we just kind of moved on from college life into life in the business world. And it was after that the idea of the priesthood started to still form in my heart and still become more and more real for me. And I was working for a mutual fund company in Baltimore, and I just didn't really enjoy it. And so I found another job that I loved, and I was traveling a lot. Worked in the World Trade Center, worked in Chicago, worked in Dallas, went to New Mexico for a while, and had a lot of different experiences. Was with a team of young people that I loved. It was great. But still there was something in my heart that thought, wait a minute, the Lord is calling me to something more. And I started doing things that I didn't think I would do. I just started going to daily mass when I was in Chicago. And from there, my prayer life kind of, I think, grew a little bit. And I thought, okay, maybe the Lord is calling me to this. And I think, should I be entering the seminary right now? Is this something that I should be doing? And then I wouldn't do it. And then another school year would start, and I think, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I wouldn't enter the seminary. And so finally I thought, okay, Lord, I'm gonna give you a chance. I think I've laughed the most I've ever laughed when I was in the minor seminary, and just had the most fun with a group of guys where we all had this common bond. We all had the same thing that we were thinking about. And it was I think a lot of fun. It was a challenge because we had to pray together, and we had to wake up early, and we were working in community together. So it was a challenge too, but it was a lot of fun as well. I always thought that I was gonna be married. And I come from a big family, from 7 kids in my family, and I always thought that's what I would do as well. And I always thought, I had girlfriends growing up and in high school and in college, and I thought, okay, I'll have a family. And then that was one of the biggest hurdles for me to overcome. It's amazing to me how much fulfillment I have as a father, as a spiritual father, and how much my spiritual fatherhood kind of really, in a sense, is a true fatherhood for me as well, that I thought I would be as a married person. No 2 days are alike as a priest. And I once heard the priesthood compared to being an emergency room doctor, because you get all these different crises happening and things happening differently every day, and no 2 days are alike. But in general, my life is focused around my prayer life and around my relationship with Christ. But then with loving his people. And being a priest is kind of like being a dad. Sometimes you have to talk to people and you need to challenge them and say, wait a minute, I need you to think about something differently. Or you congratulate somebody, or you're mourning with somebody, or you're being joyful with somebody at the baptism or at a wedding or something like that. So there's a lot of different things that go into being a priest. People love their priests, and they want to love their priests. And they look to us for spiritual guidance, but they look for us just for daily support. And I never thought how much God's people could love a priest, but they do. On the day of my funeral, I hope people can just say, he helped me to love Christ. He drew me to love God more. He drew me to love Jesus even more. And if I can do that simple thing, then I can lead them to the calling that they really have. And because once that happens, once we love Christ with everything, then the Lord takes care of the rest.